Hey everyone, Chris from Cuppa here. Just wanted to go over some new features within the Workbench here, which I think a lot of our advanced users really like the idea of this, where you can completely control the system in user prompt. You can save it down as an article, the output. You can save it as a template to then use in single or bulk generation, but totally customizable. We don't touch any aspect of it as it flows into the AI. You can select, of course, any type of model here to do your generation. And then we also up top have tools. Web search, perplexity research are available for you. So highly recommend, to me, perplexity is always worth having on, but totally up to you. You don't have to have it on. Okay, so some of the new things that we added. One, the content brief. So this can be very, very robust. I actually recommend leaving it on 5.4 to parse the brief. So you can dump in... I was just working through a 14-page brief. You can dump the full contents of that in here and hit parse brief. And what is that going to do? So that will actually pull up an entire section of a brief for then, which you'll see here, which think of that almost as your variable set. So that will populate here. And we will actually also populate the system and user prompt for you based on the content brief. So after that first button's clicked, really everything is all set for you. Of course, you can go in and change the system prompt or user prompt. You can make it more robust, longer, etc. But for all intents and purposes, we will fully digest in that brief. It can be very long. I was telling you about a 14-page brief I was working on for a 3,500 word article. You can then hit the parse brief, and then it will become system and user prompt, and then you just hit run. I do recommend before you hit run, in my opinion, put these on. Very helpful to do. And then hit run. It will generate the content for you. Of course, you can save that piece of content right away as save article. You can also save as template, right? So this will put this available in your content studio. In your single generation. So it will come here, be available to use for this brand. By the way, you can also make it global use. So it doesn't have to be brand specific. It can be totally universal for the entire account. So if you have a very good local service page template that you want to use, you can just use that and use it across all your brands. Totally up to you, but this just makes it very easy to select the template and then go. Also can do it at bulk. So like very, very interesting where you can completely control the template yourself. So highly recommend going into the Workbench. I know a lot of you that are more the advanced users kind of live in here still, which is great. So yeah, we added the content brief. Ideal output, you already know. We did change the model usage here. These are just, the models have gotten so good where the ideal output will do the same type of idea, system prompt, user prompt, but I've largely been testing the content brief. If you have a very robust content brief, the output has been pretty spectacular so far. So highly recommend trying the content brief out, hitting parse brief. It will drop in the system user prompt. Before you hit generate, which would be the run button, I definitely would toggle these on. Let me just show you what that looks like. And then just hit run. Then the thinking models, usually if you're in 5.4, it'll be thinking, create the output, save as article. You can then, of course, go into your articles. It should come up here as an example. If it's not planner, it will come up as a Workbench will be the tag. You can hop in and make the final adjustments. And then, of course, if you want to save the template, you can use it in single or bulk generation. So those are the new elements of the Workbench content brief. Highly recommend trying it out.